Hi, today I want to talk to you guys about something called synesthesia. So you might have heard of this in different variations. I think the synesthesia that a lot of people might know about is, for example, that people will relate certain numbers with certain colors, or people often say, oh, you can smell color. The official Wikipedia definition is synesthesia is a neurological phenomenon in which stimulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to automatic involuntary experiences in a second sensory or cognitive pathway. People who report such experience are known as synesthetes. So I have synesthesia, and I've wanted to talk about it for a really long time because to me it's really normal, but I know a lot of other people find it quite weird. Also, I have a version of synesthesia that I have never heard anyone else talk about before, which is why I never really recognized it as synesthesia. So what I think I have is something called spatial sequence synesthesia. The official definition is that you can see numerical sequences as points in space, meaning sort of the space around you. And for me, that mostly means dates and months. I think this sort of started when I was quite young, because I remember explaining to people how the days of the week had the colors of the rainbow and how Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday were taller. I think I casually mentioned it to someone else and they said they had no idea what I was talking about, and I don't think I thought about it too much at that point. And then it was a couple of years ago when I was having a conversation with someone where I was talking about how I have this sort of visual calendar in my head, but it feels more like a sort of overlay on the normal world, kind of like Google Glass. So whenever someone mentions a date or a month or an event, that automatically gets pulled up, and that's how I sort of make sense of it. So I'm sort of gonna try and explain how I see things. Obviously this will be a mirrored image for you guys. So the sort of calendar of the year that I see in my head is a sort of square made out of rectangles. Maybe think about a Monopoly board, sort of that shape, so it's like a circle with a hole in the middle. Some of the rectangles are bigger or longer than other ones, and it also sort of has rounded edges. And for me it goes counterclockwise. So for me sort of January is here, and then let's say March is here, and then June is here, and August is here. So within that sort of calendar there's this transparent overlay of certain images that I relate to that time of year, so either specific events or trips that I've been on or things that I've planned in the future. And I've realized that if someone mentions a specific time or date or event, I cannot help but pull up some sort of mental image. And I don't know if it's become more prominent since I started realizing that it was a thing, but in general it's not a thing that I consciously think about, it just sort of happens. Then there's also a thing with sort of the years and history. There's sort of the image of sort of like a string of years that sort of starts to my left side and then goes up and sort of ends here. And so if someone says the 1920s, I sort of imagine it like here. And when people talk about 90s kids, I have a sort of visualization of what that means. I've been doing sort of research and trying to find people's sketches of what stuff looks like to them. So some people have a calendar of the year sort of in a circle around them. The more I talk about this, the weirder it sounds. Anyway, basically I think it is the thing that makes me really organized. I hardly ever forget about events or stuff like that because in my head it is all neatly organized and semi-color coded. So that is the thing that's in my head that I thought might be interesting to talk about. Now I understand some of you might recognize yourself in this, and if you have synesthesia, let me know in a comment like what sort of synesthesia it is and how you kind of discovered it and how you experience it. And if anyone has any questions about this, please let me know and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Doei!
Hell me cool.